junk food area. So we have our crackers and chips in this basket, raisins and craisins in these jars that we buy in bulk. And then we store them in jars once we open the bags. We have, again, crackers, granola bars, Crystal Light for a little summer pick-me-up. We have fruit and jello for Abigail, cereals, and oatmeal, ready-made oatmeal. If we're not all eating oatmeal, then Abby will just have her oatmeal packet. So we buy cereal when it's on sale. If you don't open the cereal, it will stay fresh. If you do open it and it's one that you're not going to eat very often, you can store it in a jar. We aren't really breakfast cereal people. We eat cereal more for like a dessert. So just to put that in perspective, because there's a lot of sugar in cereal. Okay, if we come down here, we have our teas for iced tea. We have coffee. This is Bucky's Coffee. If you're from Texas, you'll probably know what that is. If not, it's a giant gas station that they have, and they have really good coffee. So we buy it in bulk there. We have caramel syrup for homemade caramel macchiatos. We have all of these cake mixes for Abby. So Abby likes to make cupcakes and decorate them. So we like to make sure we have the things that she needs to do that, you know, to foster that cooking spirit. So we have pre-made frosting for her, M&Ms, different flavors of cake mix. We're not picky. We have Betty Crocker and Duncan Hines. We have these little blueberry muffin mixes for her. Down here we keep gallons of water for hurricane season. We live in eastern North Carolina, so hurricane season, you just want to be prepared for that. We have protein powders here. We have soda. We are a soda family. We try not to drink too many, but it happens, so we just go with it. We have our Gatorades here. We have different baskets and containers for harvesting over here. This is our chest freezer. We've had this chest freezer for a very, very long time. This isn't a freezer tour, so we're not going to go through the freezer today, but maybe in a future video we'll go through our freezers because we have 3 freezers on the property. I'm just going to move these out of the way. These are our pet supplies. Okay, so up here we have different containers, bottles for animals in case we need them, spray bottles, they're glass, to put our own solutions in. Then we have our bulk beans. So we have kidney, northern, pinto, and black beans, all the staples up here in these large boxes. As we need them, we'll fill our large glass containers, which we'll show you here in a minute. But we do have the bulk ones over here. We have our farfalle or bow tie noodles, elbow noodles, spaghetti noodles, quinoa, and Scottish oats. Down here is just a couple of other extra things, like more craisins and raisins and things like that. We have our cupcake decorating bin right here. Just keep it all neat and organized. So now we're just gonna hop over here. Over here we have dog treats that were given to us by family and friends. We have a basket that we'll keep eggs in every now and then. We have different entertainment things down here, our mixer, just more kitchen appliances that we need for preserving food. We have different jars down here. The half gallons we mostly use for storing bulk goods or for our milk goats to store their milk in. Over here we just have stuff for the farmer's market, bags, plastic wrap, stuff like that. Our yogurt and cheese making stuff, pasta machine, just different things. This is my bread bowl for making bread. So we're gonna do a series on making different kinds of breads on this channel if you stay tuned. So back in the day, they used to have these giant wooden bread bowls that they would make their bread in so they could knead in the bowl and keep all of their ingredients contained. And that's what I use this bowl for. It's just a stone bowl, it's not plastic, and I really love it a whole lot. So we have our wok in here for when we make large batches of Chinese food. And then we have our big buckets of bulk goods. So the bulk goods come in large bags like this one. This one's almost gone, but it's about 50-pound, 25-pound bag of goods. So we have our whole wheat flour, we have all-purpose flour, and those are for bread making. We have our secant sugar, which is dehydrated cane sugar. It tastes like brown sugar. It definitely has more molasses taste than traditional sugar. So I wouldn't recommend using it in something like tea unless you're used to it. You can't use it in kombucha either. It will kill your SCOBY, in theory. So I use it more for baking, right? So if you're gonna bake something like cinnamon rolls and stuff like that, it's a better sugar for you. It has more minerals in it, but it has a strong flavor. So you just need to keep that in mind if you choose to use it. Over here we have our traditional white sugar with a couple bags because they didn't quite fit. We also have our oatmeal here in the back. We eat a lot of oatmeal in the winter time. We have our goods chips from Pennsylvania. They're fried in lard. And then over here, we have enriched rice for Abby. She likes to make hibachi chicken and rice, like in the restaurant, and so that's what she uses. So, over here is where we keep our grains and pastas and things like that. We buy a lot of these things in bulk. But if it's a specialty item, then we're not going to buy it in bulk because we're not going to use it that often and it'll go bad before we use it. So the things that are like special, that we consider special, are like orzo and orchetti and ABC pastas and things like that. The other pastas we try to buy in bulk. So we just have all different kinds. We have rice noodles too for making Asian inspired dishes. And then in the next row, we have dried beans and grains. We have our quinoa, barley, lentils, all kinds of different things, sushi rice, more rice, brown rice. These are the beans that we buy in bulk in those boxes that I showed you. And we just fill these jars, and as they get low, we'll fill these back up. Okay, and then if we come down to the next row, we have our hush puppy mix. Usually when we're having hush puppies, it's because we want a quick dinner, so we do buy the mix. We have dried mushrooms, dried chilies. We have lots of Velveeta mac and cheese. It was on sale, and we enjoy it for a quick side dish. We have Abby's little rice and pasta sides that she likes to eat. Again, she is homeschooled, so she has to eat 3 meals a day in the house, so she needs a good variety. We have her classic ramen noodles. We have different soups back here as well. Over here, we have maple syrup, different vinegars. We have rice, wine, balsamic, and molasses. Then we have our rice vinegar, fish sauce, different packets in here, and salt. We have extra salt in here. If we go down to the next one, this is mostly baking and a couple of little knickknacks of nuts and things. So this is sugar. We have rice flour, coconut flakes, semolina flour, pumpkin seeds, macadamia nuts, gluten-free flour, because we do have a family member that is gluten-free, so when they come over we make sure we have gluten-free flour for them. We have extra brown sugar, powdered sugar, and cornmeal. And I think that's about it. So we do store a couple of other things in other locations just because this room isn't quite dark enough. So our spices are stored